In the previous video, we examined the if-else statement, and we saw that you can specify a condition and you can give your program an option to take a different course of actions based on that condition. It can take two mutually exclusive paths depending on the condition being true or false. Now you can have a scenario when those course of actions or paths, those mutually exclusive paths or course of actions can be more than two. There can be a multiple number of paths which a program can take depending not only on one condition but multiple number of conditions. So in those kind of state conditions, in those kind of scenarios, else if comes to the rescue. Now you can specify your main condition like this, which you can see on line number 6. And if that condition is true, the program will of course execute this first block of code. It will print out the first line. And in that scenario, it will skip the rest of these else statements and it will print out this final statement and exit the program. Now, if this condition is false, then it will move to this next else and then it will do this second comparison. So that's an important point to understand, that this second comparison will only take place if the first condition is false. If the first condition is true, then we won't have to do this second comparison. And as expected, that if this second condition is going to be true, it will execute this code on line number 9. Otherwise, it will execute this final block of code. So I've created this vector at the very top most line of the code. The rest of the two vectors on line number 2 and 3 are commented for the time being, and we can see that with these values the first condition is going to be true. So just to make sure, I will execute this code just to demonstrate. So let's just run this code, and what you can see over here very clearly, that it has executed the very first block because the first condition was true. Now with the help of second vector, we can, in fact, let me just comment out the first one, and what I'll do is I'll clear the console, Control A to select everything and execute again. And with the help of the second vector, we can see that the sum total, so 150, 250, 295. So we can see that this second condition basically expects the tax to be between 250 and 500, and we've got 295. So this second block of code should execute, and we can see that the second block of code has been printed over here. So that is the else if, sorry, that was the else if. And now I just want to show that if both these conditions are false, then it will indeed print this else block, the final else block. So we've uncommented this final condition, and we know that the sum of these taxes is going to be 200, which is not going to satisfy the first condition and is not going to satisfy the second condition. So in that scenario, the only option would be to run this else block. So let's quickly execute it without wasting any time, and we can see that it has indeed said the tax rate is too low and it has exited the program. So that was everything about else if condition, and In the last two videos we've seen if statement and else statement. In this video we've seen else if statement.